Have you ever wondered how our ancestors passed down knowledge before the advent of writing? How did they preserve their history, culture, and beliefs? The answer lies in the oral tradition. Oral tradition, in its simplest form, refers to the transmission of cultural material and traditions from one generation to another by word of mouth. This practice, which predates the invention of the written word, has been the backbone of human civilization, playing a pivotal role in preserving our shared history and cultural heritage. Think about your grandparents or an elder from your community, sharing stories from their youth, recounting tales of their ancestors, or passing down age-old wisdom. That's oral tradition in action. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving as it's passed from person to person, generation to generation. From the Aboriginal Dreamtime stories in Australia to the epic sagas of the Vikings, from the griots of West Africa to the bards of ancient Greece, oral tradition has been instrumental in shaping societies across the globe. It's a rich tapestry of human experience woven together with threads of stories, songs, proverbs, and folklore. In contrast to written traditions, which often privilege the perspectives of the elite, oral traditions provide a more democratic platform, giving voice to the collective memory of a community. They are the people's history, a vivacious testament to the human spirit's resilience, ingenuity, and creativity. But oral tradition is more than just a historical record. It's also a vital means of socialization, a way to instill moral values, maintain social order, and foster a sense of belonging. Through tales of heroes and villains, triumphs and tribulations, oral traditions convey important life lessons, shaping the worldview of the listeners. As we move forward in this exploration, we'll delve into the intricacies of oral tradition, from its various forms and functions to its preservation and transmission. We'll also look at its cultural significance and the challenges it faces in the modern world. So let's delve deeper into the concept of oral tradition and explore its various facets. Oral tradition, at its core, is the transmission of information from one generation to the next, without the aid of writing. This ingrained practice is as old as humanity itself, serving as the backbone of societies before the advent of written language. Diverse in form and function, oral traditions encompass a vast array of expressions, including folk tales, myths, proverbs, and songs. Rooted in the spoken word, these forms of communication are characterized by their fluidity and adaptability. Unlike written texts, oral traditions are dynamic, evolving with each retelling, adapting to the context of the time, and reflecting the values and realities of the community. Historically, oral tradition has flourished in every corner of the globe. The epic poems of ancient Greece recited by bards like Homer are classic examples of oral storytelling. In Africa, griots, or storytellers, have been the custodians of oral tradition, preserving history and social norms through generations. The indigenous tribes of Australia have used oral tradition to pass down their Dreamtime stories, connecting them to their ancestral lands and spiritual beliefs. Contrasting with written traditions, oral storytelling offers a unique perspective. While written texts are often viewed as more reliable, being fixed and unchanging, they can be detached from the living experience of the community. Oral traditions, on the other hand, are a living link to the past, reflecting the collective memory and wisdom of the community. They are interactive, allowing for communal participation, fostering a sense of belonging and identity. However, it's important to remember that oral and written traditions are not mutually exclusive. In many cultures, they complement each other, with oral storytelling often serving as a precursor to written texts, and written traditions providing a means to preserve oral narratives. Oral tradition is more than just storytelling. It's a unique form of communication that has shaped cultures and societies. It is a testament to the power of the spoken word and its enduring role in preserving our collective human experience. Storytelling is an art, and nowhere is it more evident than in oral traditions. Oral storytelling is a craft that requires a certain set of skills and techniques. It's not about merely reciting a series of events. Instead, it's about weaving a captivating narrative that engages listeners, making them feel as if they're part of the story. A skilled storyteller uses their voice, tone, pacing, and even silence to create dramatic tension, evoke emotions, and convey the story's mood. At the heart of oral storytelling lies two key elements: memory and improvisation. In an oral tradition, A story is passed down from generation to generation, and each storyteller must commit the essence of the story to memory. However, unlike written stories, oral tales are not set in stone. Each telling is a new rendition. Storytellers often improvise, adding their unique touch, adapting the story to their audience, or reflecting the values and concerns of their time. This fluidity is what keeps oral traditions vibrant and relevant, allowing them to evolve while retaining their core essence. Take, for instance, the storytellers of West Africa, known as griots. These oral historians have preserved centuries of history, not through written documents, but through songs, poems, and stories. Griots play a vital role in their communities, acting as keepers of cultural knowledge and wisdom. Their storytelling technique, rich with music and rhythm, has had a profound impact on various forms of expression, from literature to hip-hop music. Then there are the Aboriginal storytellers of Australia, who use oral storytelling to pass on complex knowledge about the land, the stars, and their cultural practices. Their stories, known as Dreamtime stories, are more than just tales. They're a vital link to their ancestral past and a guide for their present and future actions. These examples highlight how oral storytelling transcends the role of mere entertainment. It's a means to preserve history, pass on wisdom, instill values, and nurture a sense of identity and belonging. Through the art of storytelling, oral traditions bring history to life, connecting the past with the present. Preserving oral traditions presents unique challenges, but it also offers unique opportunities. Now, you might be wondering, what could possibly be so difficult about passing down stories from one generation to the next? Well, it's not as simple as it sounds. Oral traditions, unlike their written counterparts, are dynamic and fluid, constantly evolving with each retelling. This makes them susceptible to changes, distortions, and even loss over time. Imagine playing a game of telephone where a message is whispered from one person to the next. By the time it reaches the last person, the message may have transformed entirely. This is the challenge faced by oral traditions. How then are these stories preserved and transmitted through generations? The answer lies in the methods employed to pass on these stories. Many cultures use techniques such as repetition, rhythm, and rhyme to help remember and retell these tales. Think about the catchy tunes and repetitive phrases in nursery rhymes. They stick in your head, don't they? Similarly, in oral traditions, these techniques make it easier to memorize and share the stories. But preserving oral traditions is not solely about the methods, it's also about the people, the communities that see value in their stories and are committed to keeping them alive. These communities play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of oral traditions. They are the ones who gather around the fire, who come together during festivals and rituals to listen and participate in the storytelling. They are the ones who take on the responsibility of being the next storytellers, ensuring that the stories don't die with a generation, but live on to inspire and teach the next. And so, despite the challenges, oral traditions have endured, thanks in large part to the commitment of communities to keep their stories alive. They serve as a testament to the power of human memory, the art of storytelling, and the enduring value of our shared histories. Oral traditions are more than just stories. They are the heartbeat of a culture. In every corner of the world, oral traditions play a significant role in shaping the cultural, social, and spiritual fabric of communities. These tales, passed from generation to generation, act as a cultural compass, guiding societies through time and helping them retain their unique identities amidst the waves of change. Consider the Maori people of New Zealand. Their oral traditions, rich with myths, legends, and ancestral narratives, are not mere entertainment. They are a crucial part of their identity, serving as a bridge that connects the past with the present, the spiritual with the physical, and the individual with the community. Similarly, the griots of West Africa, masters of words and music, have for centuries been the bearers of their community's history and values. They are revered not just as entertainers, but as custodians of culture, their stories and songs echoing the collective wisdom of their people. These examples highlight the profound cultural significance of oral traditions. But let's not forget their social and spiritual importance. In many societies, oral traditions are an integral part of rites of passage, religious ceremonies, and communal gatherings. They foster social cohesion, instill moral values, and provide a spiritual framework that helps individuals make sense of the world around them. Now let's shift our gaze to another form of tradition, the written tradition. While written records provide a tangible and seemingly more permanent way to preserve cultural heritage, they are not without their limitations. They can be subject to interpretation, distortion, and loss, just like their oral counterparts. Moreover, they often lack the personal touch, the emotional resonance, and the communal engagement that oral traditions inherently offer. In conclusion, oral traditions are not just repositories of ancient tales. They are living, breathing entities, pulsating with the rhythms of the societies they belong to. They shape collective identities, impart values, and pass on wisdom in a manner that is intimate, dynamic, and profoundly human. Oral traditions, in essence, are the threads that weave together the tapestry of a culture. In the face of technological advances, oral traditions are not just surviving, they are adapting. As we journey further into the 21st century, the age-old practice of oral storytelling is not being left behind. Instead, it's evolving and adapting to the rhythm of our technologically driven world. Consider the rise of digital platforms such as podcasts and audiobooks. They serve as modern mediums for preserving and disseminating oral stories, connecting the past with the present in a remarkable way. They facilitate the spread of oral traditions, allowing them to reach a global audience like never before. This digital evolution is not a threat to oral traditions, but rather a unique opportunity for them to thrive in a new environment. The advent of social media also plays a pivotal role in this adaptation. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are becoming virtual stages for storytellers, enabling them to share their narratives with the world. These platforms not only preserve the art of oral storytelling, but they also bring it to life for millions of people, transcending geographical boundaries and cultural divides. However, as with any form of adaptation, challenges present themselves. The impact of globalization on local oral traditions is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it opens up opportunities for these traditions to gain global recognition. On the other hand, it raises concerns about the potential loss of their local flavor and uniqueness. The key here lies in finding a balance between maintaining the authenticity of these traditions while also allowing them to evolve and resonate with a broader audience. In the same vein, the digital age also raises questions about the preservation of oral traditions. While digital platforms provide a means to document and share these stories, they do not replace the intimate, communal experience of traditional oral storytelling. Yet perhaps this is another form of evolution, a different way of experiencing these age-old narratives. In a world constantly on the move, oral traditions are finding new ways to tell their timeless tales. As we embrace the digital age, let's remember that the essence of oral traditions lies not in the medium through which they are shared, but in the stories themselves and the human connection they foster. Like all forms of communication, oral traditions face their own set of challenges and criticisms. In the contemporary era, these challenges are more pronounced than ever. The fast-paced digital age, with its relentless focus on the written word and visual media, threatens to sideline the ancient art of oral storytelling. Moreover, the rapid homogenization of cultures due to globalization presents its own set of trials, potentially diluting the unique nuances of local oral traditions. Another challenge lies in the very nature of oral tradition. Its fluid, dynamic character, while being one of its strengths, also makes it vulnerable to distortions and alterations over time. As stories pass from one generation to the next, details can change, and over time this can significantly alter the original narrative. This leads us to one of the most prominent criticisms of oral traditions, the question of reliability. Skeptics often point to the potential for inaccuracies in oral accounts. They argue that without a fixed written record, it's impossible to verify the exactness of an oral tale. This debate, however, overlooks a crucial aspect of oral traditions. They are not meant to be precise historical records, but rather they are vehicles for conveying cultural values, moral lessons, and communal memory. Their worth lies not in their literal accuracy, but in the truths they embody and the connections they foster. Addressing these challenges requires a multi-pronged approach. Preservation efforts must go hand in hand with education to ensure that younger generations understand the value of their oral heritage. Digital platforms can be leveraged to record and share oral narratives, thus safeguarding them against loss. Moreover, encouraging dialogue about the role and relevance of oral traditions can help shift perceptions and foster greater appreciation for this ancient form of communication. Challenges and criticisms aside, the value and impact of oral traditions are undeniable. We have come a long way from the days of our ancestors, but the power of oral tradition remains. As we've journeyed together through the rich tapestry of spoken stories, their significance in our lives has become evident. They are not merely tales of yesteryears, but living, breathing entities that evolve with us and shape our identities. Your engagement in this exploration is a testament to the enduring relevance of these traditions. It's been an honor to delve into this fascinating world with you, revealing the depth and breadth of our collective human experience. As we part ways, let's not forget the role we each play in preserving these stories. We are both the storytellers and the audience, the keepers of the past and the architects of the future. The stories we tell and the way we tell them define who we are. So here's to the power of the spoken word and to the stories yet untold.